Well, it's July 22nd and it's time to visit the hoop house. I thought I would start this time with looking at today's harvest from the hoop house, because I've already picked these and we won't see them inside, but we see this big yellow tomato, which is a Kellogg breakfast tomato. I'm going to put my hand in here so you can kind of see that these are a really substantial tomato. And then we have many more cucumbers, and these are Amish paste tomatoes, and the little one over here that's a little bit purplish is their first Niugas, and I don't know how to pronounce that. And then many other smaller tomatoes, and we see a few jalapeno peppers, some gypsy peppers, and our first Carmen pepper, which is still green, but it's a pretty substantial pepper, so we thought we'd try it as a green pepper. And then of course we have, I guess, 5 cucumbers that we harvested today. And underneath here, over here, some of our sun gold tomatoes. So things are moving along pretty well here. Definitely a big change from a month ago. Now we'll look into the hoop house and give it a visit. Maybe the thing that stands out the most for me when I come in is all the beautiful zinnias that are now really in full bloom, giving us lots of beautiful bouquets in the house. And then our tomato plants have continued to grow and set lots of fruit. And the first ones being our stupicays, and we got quite a few stupicays today that were ripe, and you can see down here that there's quite a few more all the way down here that are getting really close to being ripe. Interestingly enough, once again, this plant and this plant are supposed to be identical, but this plant here has had almost no ripe ones. And over here with the Amish paste, it's a similar story. We've got one there, but almost all of our Amish paste to date have come from this plant here, which has both of the ones that you see in there. Although now I see here's another pretty good sized one down there. Our Donna tomato is beginning to get a few ripe tomatoes. They're all on the small side. Up here at the top, they're looking larger. Our Brandywine has given us almost none, and there are getting to be a few, but I would call this a disappointment. Now this is the Kellogg breakfast tomato, and again, here's another one of these that you can see from the size in my hand that it's a very substantial tomato, and it's really pretty well loaded with them all over. So this is going to give us lots of amazing tomatoes. And it's going over here, still running over here. And then this is the Niugas, which, as I say, I can't pronounce, but it's a purple tomato, and you can see 2 purple tomatoes getting pretty ripe here, into the addition to the one that we had. Here is my little teeny baby sun gold, because the last ones that I planted across the way don't seem as good as last year, so I put another one in and we'll see. But it's not exactly that they are devoid of tomatoes, as you can see by looking, and they're giant just as the ones were last year, and they have tons of fruit set, but to me the flavor is not quite up to what it was last year. Let's eat one. Yep, good, but not great. And then our peppers, Carmen peppers, you can see here, have set lots of peppers, and they're going to be red peppers, so mostly we're going to let those continue. And there's a row of those. And the gypsy peppers, again, we have lots of gypsy peppers set here, and more continuing to set. Now we have our jalapenos here, and I see we've got jalapenos. They're a little bit small yet, so it's going to be a while before they develop their bite. And we have one bell pepper tomato here, which has got some green bells that will eventually whoops, excuse me, eventually turn red. And then our cucumbers, as you saw, we had 4 cucumbers. We have lots of more little ones coming here. The one kind of strange disappointment about our cucumbers was that these Armenian cucumbers, which we had a whole ton of right at the beginning of the year, stopped producing any fruiting blossoms. And I've given it a little fertilizer just recently, and I'm hoping that that will cause it to produce more of them. It looks kind of like these up here could be fruiting blossoms, so we'll hope for the best. And then over with our melons, our ambrosia melons, you can see we have a couple here. Those are kind of about the size of softballs, and then this one's a little bit bigger than that. And then in back over here in its little net bag is pretty much a full-sized cantaloupe. So that one's looking like it's beginning to turn a little bit, the netting to turn yellow. So we're hoping to have a melon before too long. And as you can see, the vines this year haven't all died back. It's got some disease, but it hasn't spread to everything. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and that we will continue to get lots of fruit. So this is the looks, and we can see we have really an arbor of tomato vines across the top at that end. So it is continuing to be quite successful, despite the fact that we've had a lot of cool weather here in Mendocino this whole summer. Until next time, good gardening.